saw yesterday, the day before, AC/DC had finally given into iTunes and released their entire library to Apple.
Yes.
And I really thought it was a way that, I guess it was Angus, because they've had a hard-on for them for a long time. They didn't like the fact, AC/DC, that you could buy singles from an album instead of making them buy the entire album, like they used to do to us when we were kids.
Right.
They release a few singles on 45. Those are records.
Little round things.
That you'd put on a round thing that would spin it. I'm just wondering how much of the audience I've lost. Because when you say 45, I ain't never got a song on a gun.
Well, you like a Smith & Wesson iTunes?
That's a good question.
Because there are a lot of things that I was in the I think I brought this up on the air. I was in the grocery store one night, checking out. Lady asked for my Kroger card. I'm handing that to her as I'm scanning my debit card and doing all this at the same time. I feel like I'm spinning plates. Kids look at me like, wow, you want to spin plates? What the F does that mean? Ooh. The old lady got it.
Right.
It's like on the air, trying to wean myself off saying taping something, because that's gone.
That's true.
Recording. But you still have people, even in the media, real media, say, okay, we're filming now. You ain't filming dick.
No, there's no film in that there camera.
Ain't film, ain't tape. You're recording it. Just wonder how many phrases are lost. If what I'd like to do is get one of those little hot interns up here that are probably of age. Shouldn't they be?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Get them in here. Run through a list of just phrases that we're used to. What does a dial tone mean? Wow. Well, that's how you know that you can make a call. Why is it called a dial tone?
She ain't gonna know.
Rodney always says, our phones are ringing off the hook. My cell phone ain't got no hook on it.
What kind of moron?
Why you put your phone on the hook? What's wrong with you?
My hope is that there's enough of...
It doesn't really matter. It's just antiquated technology with...
terminology.
There are a lot of terms that we use that we don't even know what it means. Just use it.
You use it because we've been used to using it for a number of years, and because we used them when the technology was around.
But I'd just be curious how many kids really, if you brought them in, what's a dial tone? They might get that. That means the phone line is active.
Right.
And I can make a call. All right. Why is it called dial?
Yeah.
Because I just showered? Because I'm fresh?
And I did a tone.
That's funny you mentioned that about records, because last night I was going home and I go by this building and it used to be a sound warehouse. And I wonder how many people actually remember Sound Warehouse.
Possibly. But now there are specialty stores popping up that sell LPs and 45s.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many gangbangers walk in there and go, hey, man, can I get really 12 45s for $8? Is that coming ammo?
Hey, no one said gangbanging had to be expensive. Got to gangbang on a budget.
LP? What's this flat you gave me? What is that one? Is that one of your other customers you dropped something on? AC/DC.
Yeah.
The only reason I went ahead and bought, and I really thought, by the way, AC/DC was talking, they were going to make a deal with iTunes of, you got to buy the album. They don't. Still buy singles.
Right.
They say they remastered everything on iTunes.
Really?
Now, why it would be remastered for iTunes and not all the CDs and DVDs they had mashed over the years. So I bought Highway to Hell. Chloe, pull up Highway to Hell in our library. In fact, pull it up. I'll play them both. You tell me which one is a new one.
Okay.
How long is it going to take you to find it? I'll tell you what. While he's doing that, I'll play you some of the slowed down clips of Highway to Hell. Section, you know what I'm talking about?
The one we all know.
Okay. Here it is, slowed down 5%.
Okay.
Now, you pull up those notes on the back of the album and you show me where that word's in there.
It's not.
There is no season ticket on a one-way ride. You can play it up. You can argue it just because it's on paper. Bon Scott is not saying that. You find it, Chloe? Okay. Okay. Everybody in the studio, close your eyes.
Okay.
Just so same plane as everybody else. Got that one?
Okay.
I'm not saying which one that is. Here's the next one. Okay. Don't say anything. Just hold up your finger. Was a new one number 1 or number 2? Dan?
1.
Okay. Hello? Trey, which one do you think? New one was number 1. Here's the old one. Is it still loaded? No, that'd be a bumper. Here's a new one. I could tell a dramatic difference. Did you get it reloaded? I go back to the one in our library. That's dramatically different.
Yep.
Back to the new one.
Yeah, that is remastered.
It is. I was sitting in my office last night going, I hope none of them are up here. That's about as clean and remastered as you can get.
It's also interesting they put it in a different. The guitar on the old one's in the right channel, and this one it's in the left channel.
I could have done something to it.
Oh.
Now, here it is, slowed down 5%. If there's any question. The word ticket doesn't exist in there unless somebody's holding up a sign in the background.
There's not even a tuh sound.
But when we brought this up about 10 years ago, I think it was during a break. I was listening to it, and Everett looked up at me. A song we'd heard for, I think at that point, 20 years.
At least.
Everett goes, right on. Well, how could we possibly really have never caught that?
For me, I'm not great at hearing the words in some songs.
That's pretty blatant. But
Yeah.
how do we miss it? I never really knew that the lyric was, unless I went on, bought the album and read it. Why would I take that season ticket?
Because
All right, here it is, slowed down 10%. 20%. I'm telling you, hey, are you listening? This is slowed down 50%. You give me anything that's in there that says ticket. This last one's hard to listen to because it gets really digitized.
Right.
But this one slowed down 90% from the master.
Okay.
No pun. Now, what do we learn from this? Isn't you're on a one-way ride someplace.
And Bon Scott saw it.
And if he wasn't really singing that, why is it so dramatically different when Brian Johnson sings the song? Because you can listen. I don't know if AC/DC has a studio version with Brian Johnson of Highway to Hell, but all the live versions, ain't no... I didn't say it, but it was enough with a couple of oomph and ers in it. But Brian Johnson doesn't come anywhere near that.
No. And that's a guy with a thick Scottish accent, and you know he's saying ticket. There is no doubt.
And any of the versions where Bon Scott, who was the lead singer before Brian Johnson. When Bon Scott would do it, he'd turn his face away from the camera just for a second and then turn it back, smiling. Guess what I said? All right, we'll be back.
The Russ Martin Show, only on 97.1 The Eagle.